Hello again, I'm Michael Beckemeyer with Mindful Meditations for Calm the Bleep Down, a show where each episode we bring you another brand new 10 to 15 minute meditation. Today, we're going to accept ourselves. Let's get started. And we start off every episode with a quote, a mindfulness quote to help get things started. And today our quote comes from Kornfield. And it reads, "Much of spiritual life is self-acceptance, maybe all of it." For me, that quote reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend of mine a while back. We are brutal to ourselves. We will, in an effort to be congenial and polite and forgiving, let everybody in our lives off the hook for anything, even serious infractions upon our relationships. But any little thing we do, the negative talk, we eviscerate ourselves for it. We do not let ourselves off the hook. We are hardest on ourselves. We are cruelest to ourselves, because no matter how mean you could be to someone else, nothing is as brutal as the negative talk that goes on in your mind, or the speech you give yourself in the morning when you're staring at yourself in the mirror. And I was talking to my friend about how it seems like I was compassionate towards everyone, but myself. I was hardest on myself. And her perspective on that was, everybody's like that, or most of us are like that. And she said she tried to think of herself when she's down on herself like that. She tries to imagine herself as a small child, and to never talk to herself in a way that she wouldn't say that same thing to a little kid. So, and really we are all just damaged little children on the inside anyway. So the idea is to maybe we talk to ourselves, the monologues we have going on, internal monologues we have going on inside, to let those internal monologues play out the same way you would talk to a little kid. Because you know, unless you're just a horrible person, you're not going to be mean to a little kid. You're going to be forgiving and kind and understanding with the little kid. And if we just give ourselves a little bit of kindness and understanding, maybe we can find a way where we're not so hard on ourselves, unhappy with ourselves, where we don't constantly talk down to ourselves in our minds. It's like being in an abusive relationship with yourself. We're trying to avoid that because we're trying to be happy, and you can't be happy if you got somebody in your ear all the time going, you messed that up, you screwed that up, you're an idiot, you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, you're that person doesn't really like you, and it's like constant. And when we do that to ourselves in our head, it's like the most, because it can stay on automatic loop. If somebody's saying that to you and you don't like it, you can walk away from them, but you can't walk away from yourself. So we have to learn not to do that to ourselves. And it's a practice. It's a mindfulness practice, because we sort of have to learn not to do it. So we're just going to try to learn how to let ourselves off the hook. And it requires mindfulness, because you have to catch yourself and stop yourself from doing it, because it's like a natural thing. It just seems to happen over, 20, 30, however old you are, years of just living with yourself. So we're going to do that. We're going to meditate, and we're going to practice mindfulness. So to do that, we have to get ourselves comfortable. You can either sit down or lie down, as always. Close your eyes. Start to slow your breathing. Little body scan. Quick little body scan from head to toe. Make sure you're not holding any tension anywhere in your body. You're trying to relax. Trying to get to a place of stillness and calm. You want to think of sinking deeper into relaxation with every exhale. Picture yourself getting heavier and heavier. That negative self-talk comes from our ego, our deep-seated ego, that is ultimately there to protect us, and it thinks its job is to protect us. It thinks it's doing its job when those little negative thoughts play out. And it's trying to protect us from getting hurt, being scared, but it really is our worst enemy when it comes to self-acceptance or being happy, because its job is to protect, and it's going to say and do whatever it can to convince you to stay in the little cave, whatever that is. Don't take that chance. Don't talk to that person you'd like to go out with. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do anything, because if you go out there, you might get hurt. You might get attacked or criticized or any of those things. But those things aren't making us happy. And true, we might step outside our front door every day and go out and come across random people that might criticize us or hurt our feelings or say mean things or even worse. But not every day, not all the time. That's our ego talking us back inside to protect us, to guard us from getting hurt. But most things don't play out like that, especially if you are putting the energy out in a different way. You sort of see the world in a different light. It's not a negative place, it's a positive place, where even if you do fail, it's still a success because you tried. Or maybe you do hit a hiccup in a relationship or something like that, but it allows you to learn something and move on. We call that failing up. You fail upwards. You keep moving forward as you hit roadblocks. So part of mindfulness is being aware that ego is always in there, spinning and spinning and spinning these little stories to stop you from going out there and trying. Not because it's trying to hold you back, but it's just trying to protect you. It's almost like part of our id. But going out there and just in general, putting yourself out there is what ultimately makes us happy. It lets us figure out what we are willing to suffer for so that we can find joy or peace or comfort. It's never going to come from hiding. It's never going to come from giving into the, fear or insecurity. And it's never going to come from that negative talk you give yourself in the mirror every day. So just practice a few moments of mindfulness, breathing in, breathing out. Catch your mind when it wanders, and as it wanders, once you notice it, bring it back to the breath. Over and over and over again. And as we're practicing that in this meditation, eventually you will notice when your mind goes off and does those unproductive things in life. Sitting in your car, giving yourself that negative talk, you might actually start to notice you catch yourself and go, wait a second, that's not serving me in any way other than to make me unhappy. So let's breathe for a few more minutes. Okay, take one last, final, long, slow, deep breath in. Feel that breath into your body all the way in and out. Let that stillness settle in for a few more seconds. Feel that place of non-judgment, calm and still. And if you ever need to come back to this place, just remind yourself that you can get there just by taking a breath. And remind yourself, if you catch yourself giving yourself a little negative pep talk, just stop, breathe in the moment. Return to the present and let it out. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. That's it for this time on Mindful Meditations with Calm the Bleep Down. If you got anything out of this meditation, could you please click like, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to find out more about us, you can go to calmthebleepdownshow.com, where you can subscribe to our podcast, the YouTube channel. You can even follow us on social media. Once again, I'm your host, Michael Beckermeyer, reminding you to please calm the bleep down, and we will talk to you again very soon. Thank you, and namaste.